When most people first see Yohji Yamamoto's work, they notice the same things: black, oversized silhouettes, asymmetry, a kind of intellectual, almost architectural feeling. And because of that, people think they understand what his work is. But that's not actually what his work is about. If you try to understand Yohji through interpretation, you will always feel like something is missing. And a lot of people find it hard to put words to his work, because his work is not built to be interpreted. It's built to be seen. Most people look at his work and immediately try to understand it. They ask, what does this mean? Who is this for? What kind of person would wear this? People expect meaning, story, references, symbolism. What does this mean? They are looking at the work through identity and interpretation. But Yohji does not work from identity. He works from observation. And that's a completely different starting point. Because when you start from identity, you are trying to confirm something you already know. But when you start from observation, you're open to something you haven't seen yet. There are two very different ways of looking. The first is how we're used to looking. We label things, we interpret them, we try to place them into something we already understand. The second way is much simpler. You just look at what is actually here, without adding meaning, without trying to explain it. And this is more difficult than it sounds, because the mind immediately wants to step in and turn what you see into something familiar, something personal. And when you look in that way, you start to see completely different things. When you observe his work, you begin to notice that it's not really about style, or aesthetic, or even clothes. It's about things like movement, time, space, distance, imperfection. Not as ideas, but as something that is actually happening in front of you. You're not thinking about time. You're seeing time. In how the fabric moves. In how it lags behind the body. How it continues after the body has already stopped. The clothes are not trying to communicate something. They are allowing something to appear. He doesn't talk about time. He makes time visible. So if you want to understand his work, you have to change how you see. Don't try to understand it. Instead, pay attention to what is literally happening. What you are observing as an experience. Look at the silhouette. Look at the space around the body. Look at how the fabric moves. Look at the rhythm of the walk. And then, don't interpret it. Don't analyze. Don't turn it into a story. Just stay with that experience. When your mind starts speaking, I like this, I don't like that. What does that mean? This is the moment you stop observing. So you come back to what is actually here. Let's look at this together. Notice how the fabric moves after the body has already passed. It doesn't follow the body exactly. It lags behind. So you're not just seeing the dark garment. You're seeing time. You can literally see time in the movement. The movement continues even when the body has already stopped. Notice how the body is treated here. It's not emphasized. It is not shaped. It is not idealized. It becomes almost neutral. Just a presence moving through space. The body is simply presented without projection. You're not asked to interpret the body, just to see it. And notice how the fabric doesn't sit on the body, but moves around it. Often in Yohji's work, the body itself is treated differently than we often see in fashion and society. It's not shaped or emphasized in the usual way. It becomes almost neutral. Just a line, a presence, something moving through space. Here we look at the distance between the body and the fabric. The garment doesn't sit on the body. It creates space around it. And that space is not empty. You can see the space as an active element. That's where the work actually happens. Your attention shifts from the object to what surrounds it. Look at how the fabric responds as the model walks. What Yohji does is, he removes the need for meaning by making the experience directly perceivable. When you see this way, something changes. There is a distance between what you see and the need to interpret it. You don't need to complete the image anymore. You can just stay with it. And in that space, the work becomes something else. It's no longer just an object you look at. It becomes an experience. There's a kind of silence, a calmness, and in that silence, you actually perceive more. Yogi is not giving you meaning to interpret. He is giving you something to perceive. And perception is always an experience. Yohji Yamamoto's work isn't something you interpret. It's something you perceive. The reason this happens is because Yogi allows things to exist without needing to define them. He doesn't force meaning onto the work. He lets it remain open. And because of that, you are not pushed into thinking. You are allowed to just see. And this is where it becomes important for artists. A lot of artists begin from meaning and work from a story. They try to define the work before they've really seen it. But what Yogi shows is something else. He doesn't translate reality into meaning. He lets reality appear directly. You don't need to understand your work first. You need to see it. To actually look at what is there without turning it into a story. And maybe that's the most important thing. That something can exist without needing to be explained. That what you see as it is already all there is to know. It's already enough.